I at least get 2 shotguns most runs.
Okay.
But like to be competitive, you need a mid-game shotgun. Like you need an early game, a mid-game, and a late-game shotgun, basically.
Yeah, and so you don't really take runs without an early game shotgun, and if you have a good enough pace without a mid-game, then you kind of just run the late game to help, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That does sound like a decent analog for SA2, because you don't really run the game without a good dry lagoon, and then if your execution is good enough, then I guess...
Yeah, like you need a mid-game shotgun, you don't need a late-game shotgun. But if you get a late game shotgun, then the final boss is like a million times quicker.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of like where things start to divide, because if you just don't get the good mad space, like unless you're not super high on the boards, I feel like that's just like the end. Like I feel like there's mad space.
I mean, I was able to absorb a horrible mad space in my current PB because the run was pretty good. But yeah, generally it's dead.
Yeah, what was your RNG before then?
So all in all,
the Dry Lagoon.
I saved. So Dry Lagoon is a 2120. Security Hall was a 30. Egg Quarters was 41. So like the RNG is very, very good before that. Yeah. I saved 20 seconds over my previous PB from Rouge Splits.
Wow, even with the mad space.
Yeah, if Mad Space was good, that was it. I was done.
And keep in mind, for Borderlands 2, I ran the game since like 2013, 2014, and I was like, I had the record for a long time. So
you did? That's sick.
Yeah, I still have 9th place, and I haven't run the game in 6 years.
Wow.
Has that changed? Has the discussion around parts changed over the years? Besides enabling the save that gives you the good gun at the start of the run.
I mean, there's not really anything else you can do aside from force certain enemies to like drop certain guns. It's like that's kind of. I mean, the whole point. It's a looter shooter. Like the whole point of the run is like, hey, get lucky and also be good execution.
So Gerp, I want you to speak to your client Dage 4's goal for Hero Story.
Yeah, that is a very, very minor reason why.
Minor.
Okay, well,
yeah,
one thing several people have spoke out about, and it's a pretty much non-issue, but the 20 hero story that Dage is going for becomes much less likely in all the other variants. But
so if you want to, Savik, while we're talking about this, if you want to pull up the screenshot so you can see like what all the timed runs are and the differences, you know?
Oh yeah.
Because I think like with some of them, like even without like 2, I think Dage loses. Let me look. I think he loses the 21.
He loses the 21 starting in variant 2.
Yeah, so like a very minor thing. It is just funny that like people's goals shift completely. Like say for example, Emerald got the 22 with that run the other day.
Yeah, he would have lost it.
He would have lost it, yeah, for sure. Even if it was just pause hovers, you know.
That's interesting. So they have like a new. I'm sorry to like derail, but like I'm looking at Borderlands 2, and now they have like a stat display thing for like what your velocity is and what you have. That's interesting.
Oh wow. So can they?
Yeah.
Are those values that might have control over the RNG that they can manipulate?
I don't think so.
Actually, you
it's
know
just.
What? I kind of want to talk about what's it called? I kind of want to talk about Minecraft. Is Boat here to talk about Minecraft?
Oh yeah, Boat.
Yeah, I figured we would be talking about Minecraft.
You know what? Should we bring in Boat to talk about Minecraft?
If Boat's able to be brought on,
is Boat even in this server?
I wasn't.
It's true.
Link right under stream.
Silent.
Yeah, I think
oh, he is in my server. Oh yeah, no, he the shack. Yeah, he posts his PBs in my speedrun channel.
But yeah, I just think there's so many different examples of games like kind of like bending the idea of a traditional speedrun or whatever, where it's literally just beat the game as fast as possible.
Like, because I mean, I think
kind
it
of fit.
Yeah.
What a game needs. Like games are different.
Yes, exactly. Because it's not about just going the fastest necessarily. We need a fucking healthy run. Like, I honestly think that in the RTA world that's part of the reason why nobody fucking played Dark Story, because of how awful it was. I wholeheartedly believe that, and that's why Dark Story sucked back then. No one played it. I would have had world
mean-
record in every fucking year the game's been out, with the strats available at the time because of how unoptimized it was until like recently.
There were people who ran it, but it was definitely like
You're not allowed in it? Oh, I'll pull you in. Just join any VC boat.
it was definitely more niche back then. But I don't know if that was due to the RNG being cancer or just nobody really caring about the category.
I feel like it must have played a part, but I don't know. I wasn't there back then.
I'm pretty sure it's just nobody cared.
All right, we've got boats.
What's up?
But they care now.
They do care now.
All right,
Hello.
ask him about Minecraft.
Alright,
Sure.
Minecraft. So,
Silent motor boat.
yeah.
How many chances do you get for to roll good RNG in Minecraft?
What does that mean?
So you load into a roost stage once, right? You load into each of the 4 roost stages once. So you get 4 chances to get the required RNG to succeed in your run. But in
Yeah.
Minecraft, at least for the most recent version, every individual piece of gold that you throw at a piglin results in 1
That-
trade.
Yeah, the gold that like doesn't mean anything in the new meta.
Oh,
Let me try and I'm gonna look at my PB to like, well, I mean there's like one comparison that's like pretty good with SA2, which is you change your settings a lot in Minecraft to locate things pretty much. So you use the F3 screen, you pause to change render distance and field of view to find certain structures which are necessary for a good run. Yeah, and that's I think it's pretty similar to like the idea of pause hovering. Like it's pretty much a required mechanic if you want to play the game optimally, because otherwise you're just gonna wander around and find nothing, right? And
so that's looking for a bastion and stuff like that, right?
yeah, so like for instance, if you're trying to look for a fortress, first you wanna look at your pie chart, which basically tells you if there's a mob spawner nearby. The mob spawner is indicative of a fortress. And so if there is one, you want to set your render distance to 2, which is 1 pause. And then you increase your render distance 1 by 1 until you find where the spawner is. And then you want to pause, set the render distance back to 2. And then just to deload it. And then you pause again to set it to the render distance it was before -1 to find where it is. And then you check in each direction where the fortress is. And then you pause again to change your render distance to what you want it to be. So that's like, I think 5 at minimum. And so pretty much the solution that the Minecraft timing method is that any pause that is with the intent of changing a setting, as long as it takes less than 5 seconds, doesn't count to your time.
Gotcha.
Is that
Yeah.
5 seconds rule new, or was...
It's been there for a little while. It was after my PB, but it's pretty much been there for almost as long as the new timing method has been.
And how was it received when it was implemented?
When it was implemented, it pretty much fixed the timing method. Like now, I have almost no issues with it.
Okay.
Wasn't the big issue with Minecraft the fact that you could just pause and like think about shit?
There's also a solution to that. I mean, most people look down on that, and if you look at the world record, it spends like 1.5 minutes paused, whether it's like looking at coordinates or whatever.
Yeah, that's the main issue I had with it. I don't
Yeah,
even
I
run the
mean-
game, that pisses me off.
I mean,
It mostly, I don't know, it's kind of like looked down on, but no one really cares that much, I guess. Like, I'm not like, I don't know what everyone's stance on that is, but I know a lot of people wanted pauses counted, but a lot of people also didn't want pauses counted. So another compromise, which I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, was that if you pause in the game and it takes more than 10 seconds, it'll get shortened to 10 seconds. So like you leave for 10 minutes, it just still gets to 10 seconds.
Dude, it's so bad.
That's
I
really
mean,
stupid.
I think it's stupid. I don't really. I don't think it's that bad. I guess.
That doesn't. I mean, I don't
Like
know.
there,
I,
like
so
there are gonna
dumb.
be. Like there are really like. I think there've been like at least a few really dumb examples. Like someone opened a world and then left and then came back and got a PB. I don't think that. I don't know what happened to that, but that got like pretty shit on.
Dude, who's stopping me from just having the world that I generated and then taking a bit of a pause to go and play that world somewhere else and figure out where everything is?
Savik, you're so stupid. Oh my god.
What?
To do that, you need to know the seed, which is in and of itself not allowed. You're not allowed to know what the seed is.
I mean,
There's,
can I not,
it.
once I have that world and I've generated it and I've exited, which should never be allowed, but I've exited, can I not just copy that world?
You're not allowed to recreate a world. Also,
How would you know if I
make
did it
a
on another
new-
computer, though?
What do you mean?
So I took the file with the world that you generated because it's saved on the local machine, and I just
I mean,
like, what's stopping me from doing that? If
I
you
mean,
guys are going to allow
I mean,
like a 20-minute pause,
it will be very clearly like known to be like that will be very obvious for one
Yeah,
thing,
like
and also
if you turn around like
and
45
like,
degrees
okay.
and then run straight to a village, like, you know?
All right. First of all, that'll be extremely obvious. Second of all, that just doesn't work in Minecraft. That's not how you play Minecraft. Because, like for example, I have 11,000 attempts. My last PB, I was at about 9,000. So you just have to like roll through seeds like thousands, hundreds, just over and over. That you can't just look at one world, come back and get your PB. It's not how it works.
I mean, what the fuck are people doing when they leave for 20 minutes? If you guys are actually allowing that and counting it as 10 seconds.
They're just leaving to do whatever. I don't know. I mean, there was one run.
Why don't they just do that before the speed run?
What do you mean?
Like, why don't they just leave to go do something 20 minutes before they start a speed run, so they don't do that in the middle of the goddamn speed run?
I mean, I don't exactly know. I mean, I have reasons to leave in the middle of speedruns.
Okay, then start a new one.
Or-
Like, why do you allow that to be the continued speed run?
Dumb community, that's all.
I don't know. My main like comparison was like the settings change thing. I don't think like the way you play Minecraft is just really stupid and not really comparable to SA2. Like SA2, you want to practice all the stages, you need to learn all the knuckle stages and such. But in Minecraft, you just fucking do 1,000 seeds and hope you get lucky. Like once you've done enough practice, that's all you do.
What a strange game. But I mean, I understand why people gotta leave, because it's a bunch of 13-year-old runners getting called by their mom.
It's probably true. That's what's happening.
I wonder who that would happen to me.
Yeah, I wonder whose mom just comes into their room and just speaks in a language I don't understand, and that's when he's gone.
Dinner's ready, dude. He needs his chicken nuggets. Just let him have him.
With the chicken strips?
I definitely have multiple DNFs on SRL from like 2012 that I just had to leave a race I was doing because my mom needed me out of the basement right now.
So,
It can happen. But then that's the end of your
Any-
run. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
You can't just
Well,
pause
Yeah,
the race.
SA2, that's just the end of the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. It's like,
Fortunately,
okay, well, I
we
have
will
to do it
never
again.
allow that. Like we have a pretty hard.
Like, yeah, I don't think
soft
that's
rule
like
for this.
controversial. I don't think that's
No,
worth,
it's
like,
not.
arguing. Like,
It's only
should've never
controversial when
paused.
somebody pauses
like in this
repeatedly.
game,
Well,
if you pause for like 2 minutes, your run's already gone. You're out.
yeah.
Like I don't think that's worth like arguing whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's
Oh,
why I
shit,
don't
good. My house is
personally
on
think.
fire. I gotta leave.
That's why I don't personally think that like anything above 2 really, like personally, should be voted in. Or like I will not be voting for them at all because like we like if you're doing a story run in particular, you only have so much time anyway. Like it's like a minute or something between each if you're not even skipping cutscenes. I don't know if like we would implement a rule for that, but like to me it's not as big a deal. Like it's not like you can stay paused for 10 minutes or something, right? Like as long as you're in the level you're playing, and that's the whole point.
Well, and if you look at that, what Savick just had up,
What did I have up?
the retime thing.
Oh yeah, you
pull
want me to
that
pull that
back
back up? Yeah, yeah.
I'm also glad to see that Dry Lagoon is back to being within 0.01.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm not sure if you like watched for the video, but it never desynced more than that.
Okay, that's good. That's actually perfect.
Yeah, so in sample size of 106, it never desynced more than that for me.
Cool.
Well, like what Stellar was saying before about, like, you know, if Dark Story didn't exist, I'd just say, yeah, let's go 2.5 or whatever for Hero. And
Right.
I think this chart shows that why Stellar feels that way, because in every instance in Hero Story, it's the same 3 placings all in a row, and then you go to Dark, and it changes constantly, and that's because of the RNG.
See, it would be interesting though if like instead of like Trader having that where he's sitting in the cutscene, it swapped and it was like Aiden, right? And then like their times would swap. Like it's very easy that could have been the case. But now we have this where it makes more sense. But like if you just look at the difference, like 45 seconds is the difference in variant 2, whereas it's a minute and 23 seconds in 2.5. Which does make sense. I mean, he was sitting in the cutscene for over 30 seconds, so that's probably where that came from. But yeah, it's interesting that that's the case.
I've at least dropped my compromise to being 2. I don't think 2.5 needs to be a thing, honestly.
I mean, we've all been saying, except for the most, you know, the most staunch Loadless supporters, that 2.5 is like just trash and not good for the game. It's not adding anything of value.
It
Like,
looks
yeah.
really cool though. I wouldn't vote for it, but like watching a video back that I recorded doing with the 2.5 timer running, the new one, it looks exactly how, like, you know, PC speed games look, like Half-Life, when they just completely pause during loads and just go to them every other time. It's just so satisfying.
I think with 2.5, that's also the hardest timing method to figure out what's actually a good time as well.
I can't
Like,
interpret that. What is a 2854 hero story?
Yeah.
That's stuff.
It is kind of weird to have. I mean, like, it makes sense, but it's weird to have the timer running after you hit the goal ring, for sure.
Like, and like, you know, at least with like variants 1, 1.25, 1.5, you can still like realistically keep like the goals that you've always had set for yourself, but with 2.5, like, your goals are so far gone from what you wanted. Like, I don't know, because like Dage could